Okay, so you guys can hear me?
Yep.
All right. So everybody knows that if you sleep well, you're gonna wake up the next morning feeling a lot better than if you didn't sleep well the night before. But then what I'm thinking is why don't we all prioritize that? And it's probably because it takes a lot of time and energy to do that. But in my eyes, I feel like that time and energy is totally worth it. So today I'll be going over a few benefits of sleeping better and also a few tips on how to sleep better. All right. Oops. Okay. So, first benefit is it has been shown so many times to that it can improve your concentration and productivity. In a article written by Joe Leach on Healthline in January of 2022, he provided data on a study done with three doctors, all having moderate, high, and very high sleep-related impairment, and those three doctors were shown to have be 54%, 96%, and 97% more likely to make an error while in the field, so while at work, which I thought was interesting. And then in the same study, he goes on to talk about how it can also improve your memory and problem solving skills. So it's kind of like a whole and encompasses a little bit of everything. Um, Next benefit. Um, so athletic performance is a pretty broad term, but I think it goes more into if you're an athlete or if you are just like a mom or dad and want to feel better at work or something like that. So it's basically just how your muscles feel in general. And according to the National Library of Medicine on February 1st of 2020, um, they read an article written by four authors. They were Kenneth Vitale, Susan Hopkins, Robert Owens, and Atul Malhotra. Um, they all talked about how um, an adequate amount of sleep can increase your fine motor skills, reaction time, and muscle power and endurance. So both of them. So this can be going on a run or playing whatever sport like this guy running track. And in the same article, they talk more about how sleep deprivation, so the opposite of adequate sleep, can lead to a higher chance of injury and a decreased motivation to go to the gym or whatever in the first place. So sometimes if you wake up sluggish or lazy, you can maybe attribute that to not getting enough sleep last night. So now that you know a few benefits, you're probably wondering, well, how do I reap those benefits? And the first way is pretty obvious, I feel like sleep more. And there's always room to sleep more. Um, and according to health.gov in January of 2022, they gave this little chart, showed this little chart of based on how old you are, how much you have to sleep. So basically, the amount of recommended time you should sleep is pretty much entirely based on your age, which I thought was a little interesting. And then, you know, a child or a preteen, about 9 to 11 or 12 hours. And then a teenager, 8 to 10 hours. And then basically, once you're a full grown adult, 7 or more hours is considered adequate. And it seems like a lot of time, but um, it can actually be reduced with a nap here and there. And then the best way to reduce it is just to stay consistent, because if you're consistent, you're never gonna have to catch up on sleep. So if you got 4 hours the night before, well, now you have to get 10 hours instead of six, or else you're gonna feel bad for 2 days. Um, and yeah, so the next way, which I think is really, really, really important, it's I'd say a little bit harder to do, but is creating a good sleep environment. And that starts with getting comfortable, a good mattress, sheets, pillows, all that stuff. Um, and then and then what's another part that's really important is making your room dark, cool, and quiet. And if you think about our ancestors who slept a few more nights than we have, um, they slept where it was always freezing cold outside. it was pitch black and it was always silent. So, I mean, obviously, it's a lot harder to do now with, TVs and cars and night lights and all that stuff. But if you can find a way to somewhat nail in those three things, then you're going to find yourself sleeping a lot better that night. All right. So, all in all, a few benefits are being able to maximize your cognitive and physical performance. And also, that can basically just be done with getting enough sleep and creating the optimal environment to sleep in. And if you put a little more time and effort in, you can definitely reap those benefits. Thank you.